Let me ask you something really quickly. When was the last time you stopped asking God for your next blessing and actually thanked Him for the one you're living in right now? I've been thinking a lot about that this week, and I thought I'd make a video about it because honestly, what I've been thinking about has humbled me, and I'm realizing I spent so much time chasing the next version of my life that I almost forgot to appreciate the version I once prayed for. And maybe you can relate to this as well. Maybe you're waiting until life is better before you finally let yourself feel grateful. But what if that's backwards as hell? You know what's crazy? I think one of the easiest ways to become blind isn't losing your vision or your eyesight. It's getting used to your blessings. Think about it. The apartment you complained about used to be, that apartment you prayed that you would get approved for. Remember that? The job you roll your eyes at might have been the same job that had you refreshing your email every 10 minutes, hoping someone would call you back after that interview you knew you crushed. The car you wish was newer is that same car you got through one of the hardest seasons of your life. It's wild how fast blessings become normal. It's not because people are bad when they're not realizing or acknowledging their blessings. We're just human. But we adapt, we get comfortable, then our eyes immediately move to whatever we don't have. And modern day social media doesn't help at all. Every time you open your phone, seems like someone's buying a house, someone's got engaged, someone's quitting their job and finally working for themselves. Someone's telling the world how they made their first 6 figures and how easy it was. Someone is finally traveling the world and you don't even have your passport. Someone's living your dream. And before you even realize what's happening, you've completely stopped noticing your own life that you're living right now, today, in this very moment. You start measuring your reality against someone else's highlights, and gratitude quietly leaves the room, leaves your heart. I don't think comparison steals your happiness. I think comparison steals away your awareness. Because nothing actually changed about your life, right? When we're looking at someone else's life, nothing changes about ours. But suddenly, your blessings don't feel as big anymore. They're not big enough anymore. And I'm starting to think that's pretty dangerous. Because if you spend your whole life looking over the fence, you'll miss the flowers growing in your own yard. I'll be honest, this is something God's been working on me with lately, because work at a corporate company, I post on this channel, and I'm a mom by mom day, night, every 24-hour second of the day. That's really my full-time job and probably my true purpose of being here on life is to be a mom. But however, I'm trying to become the woman I know I'm capable of becoming. So trust me. I have goals, big goals. There are still things I pray for almost every day. Out of all the goals, the biggest goals, there are still things that I pray for almost every day. But I had to catch myself recently because I realized I was talking to God so much about where I wanted to go. I wasn't spending enough time thanking Him for where I already am. And that's when, something clicked. And that's why it's been on my heart so heavy this week. Because gratitude isn't what you do after you become successful. Having gratitude is what keeps your heart healthy while you are becoming successful. And here's the part that really, is sticking with me. I don't think gratitude just changes my mood and uplifts me. I believe gratitude changes what you're able to see, what you're able to visualize. I think this is where the video separates. Gratitude doesn't magically make life easier. You know this. But I really believe it makes you different inside. When you become different, you start interacting with life differently, right? And I know that's pretty surface level, but think about it. Have you ever bought a car and then all of a sudden you start seeing the same car everywhere? Those cars are always everywhere, right? Your brain just started paying attention more. I think gratitude works the same way. When all I can think about is what's missing, my brain starts collecting evidence that my life isn't enough. But when I intentionally start noticing what's going right, it's like almost my mind starts highlighting opportunities I would have ignored before. And it's like these things, they're not magically appearing, but I am finally becoming aware enough to notice them. For example, there was a season where every morning started with stress. Bills, deadlines, work, trying to build content. Also, while, being a mom, trying to build a business, a side hustle that is more than a side hustle, trying to become the person that I see in my head. I was constantly thinking, what's next? What still needs to be done? What haven't I done? How much more farther do I have to go now? And then one day I realized I never stopped long enough to ask, well, what's already working well? What's already going well for me now? That's a completely different question. And it gives you a completely different life. One thing I've noticed, especially over the last year, is that gratitude doesn't make me less ambitious. It actually makes me more ambitious because I'm not chasing success out of desperation. I'm building out of peace, right? And I feel the difference in that. One person works because they feel like they'll never be enough, and another person works because they're grateful for the opportunity to build something meaningful. The actions might look the same, but the heart behind those actions couldn't be any more different. And eventually, that difference shows. That's honestly why I don't hate my job. I know that might sound weird on the internet, but everyone else online acts like the only successful story is quitting your 9-to-5 and that being a success story, right? But that's never really been my story. My job allows me to provide for my son. End of the discussion. It's my stability source. It gives me health insurance. It gives me benefits. It gives me the ability to invest into my dreams after I clock out. But my job isn't competing with my purpose. Right now, it's supporting it. And when I started looking at it that way, I stopped waking up feeling like life was happening to me. It started feeling like life was working with me. Now, don't get me wrong. There are still hard days, for sure. There are still mornings where I don't feel like getting up. There are still moments where comparison creeps back in. I am human. And so are you. You're human. I've noticed something though. Grateful people recover faster. And it's not that bad things don't happen. I just think that they don't stay focused on what's missing for too long. There's focus on being grateful and thankful. They remind themselves what's still right in front of them, and they show gratefulness for it. Think about the people you love. Think about your health. Think about the fact that you're watching this video right here, right now. Somebody would have loved one more chance to hug their mom. Someone would have loved one more Tuesday with their best friend. Someone would have loved one more drive to work, one more conversation, one more sunrise. We call these things ordinary until we lose them, and that's what gratitude protects us from. It helps us appreciate today before today becomes something we miss tomorrow. But here's the part that really convicted me, stuck with me. I don't think gratitude is just about saying thank you. I think gratitude changes the way you talk to yourself. And I didn't realize how much that mattered until I caught myself listening to my own inner thoughts. So maybe gratitude isn't about pretending life is perfect. We all know it's not. Maybe it's about refusing to let what's missing become louder than what's already here. I've started catching myself throughout the day now. Not every day, not perfectly, but more often. I'll stop and I'll think, man, a younger version of me would have been so excited to see this. I should be proud of myself. She would have been excited to have a job that takes care of her. She would have been excited to have a home. She would have been excited that her son is healthy, alive, and is happy that she's his mother. She would have been excited that people all over the world actually choose to spend part of their day listening to her thoughts. And when I look at my life through her eyes instead of my own, I realize I'm already living in answered prayers. That doesn't mean I stopped daydreaming. Don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna dream. I'm still, going after everything God has for me. I'm still building, I'm still creating, I'm still believing there's another level. But I'm not going to let tomorrow rob me of today. Because today's a gift too. So here's something I want you to try. Before you go to bed tonight, don't think about anything you still need. Think about 3 things that would have absolutely blown your mind 5 years ago. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your new apartment, your new home. Maybe it's your car. Maybe it's simply the fact that you woke up this morning. Let's train our minds to notice what's already beautiful out here. Because the more I practice gratitude, the richer I realize I've already become. Not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And that's the kind of wealth nobody can take away from you. If you're a part of this community, you already know this is the Grateful Hearts. It's not because life is always easy. It's because here we choose to keep finding reasons to be grateful anyway. If this conversation helped you slow down for just a moment, let me know one thing you're genuinely grateful for down below in the comments. I actually read them, and I think it'd be dope if we filled the comment section with reminders of what's still good. If you're new here, I appreciate you for sitting with me. I love you, and feel free to come back and spend some time with us. I love you. I'll sit with you in the next one. Peace.
10 seconds.